Hello. Thank you guys for joining me here today. So basically today, I have a little journaling process I would like to share with you all. I call it like journaling with spirit when I'm really in a tough spot or a lot of heavy energy. This is something I do to kind of gain clarity and find a way out. So those of you led to this video may have been feeling really heavy here lately, and need to gain some clarity. And I've been being led to show or share this process. So today I have been led to the Wild Unknown Alchemy Guidebook or deck. Anyone that resonates with this channel may resonate with alchemy. If you're not sure what that is, definitely look into it. It is basically the process of turning one thing into another, lead into gold, darkness into light, and transmuting energy. And this is just a deck geared towards that. And then today's spread that we are going to use is the rose that gives the bees honey. And basically it is going to give us a vitality snapshot of one's alchemal guarding or your psychic health. I have already shuffled the cards and cut them. I just haven't laid them out yet. We did have 2 cards that came out during the shuffle, which is the Drowned King and Vinegar. And if something about one of these 2 resonates, then this is definitely a reading for you. We will get into these, and beyond this point, we'll just be kind of winging it. I have a few certain decks that I use for this, and depending on what comes out or what I feel guided to will depend on which way it goes, but you will just get an idea of the overall process and mainly finding clarity here today or relieving some of that heavy energy. Get your little notebook. Got my little notebook here, and I wrote down the spread, and I'll write down the card and a little something about it, maybe what it brings up for me. If need be, go to another page to do more, but as we go through, this is what I will be doing. So I would suggest, advise getting a piece of paper, and I will name off each card as we get to it. So let's go ahead and lay it out. Card number 1 here in the middle, smoke. Card number 2 over here. Card number 3. Card number 4. Card number 5. Number 6. And number 7. And these kind of Saturn, Neptune. At the bottom we have yellowing. So let's dig in. So card number 1 is the sacred center. This is the central area known as the ovary of the flower. From it, the overall psychic health is made visible. So the sacred center. And we have smoke, fumus, that fogginess I was talking about. So let's write that down. And I'll even write down the number, which is XXX11 in Roman numerals. So we have that. Sorry about the shadow. Hope it don't disrupt too much. Now let's see what the smoke card has to tell us. In relevance to our sacred center. Smoldering, warning, illusion. So I would mainly write down those keywords. Or whichever one resonates with you the most. Illusion. Alright, so smoldering, warning, and illusion. Smoke is a tantalizing phenomenon, stealth-like and seductive. It swirls and twists, rising and disappearing. It travels great lengths with its signature scent, warning of a flame somewhere in life's laboratory. Such is the nature of the smoke card. When present, the senses are aroused and enticed. Yet the warning of fire cannot be ignored. What kind of smoke is it? Was the fire intended, a ritual or an accident? Does the smoke carry notes of incense and herbs, or is it laced with the feral-stricken scent of destruction? The smoke card asks us to wake up, to become alert to what is happening around us. Something burns. Those around you may fall under smoke's seduction, or they may flee in a panic. Don't get distracted by their response. Stay in your own laboratory and see what emerges as you study the smoldering veil. So to go deeper, listen to Smoke Rings by Sam Cooke, preferably with eyes closed. Something to ponder is copal, sage, cedar, and sandalwood. On the side here, the smoke card may be a message to clear the air with another person. Take a few deep breaths and say what's on your mind. The image of smoke and mirrors applies. Don't be surprised if things aren't what they seem. Have patience and pause on major decisions. So, you smell smoke, but the seduction of it isn't indicating fire to your brain. So, if an imbalance appears here, it's likely that there's an element of misalignment or depletion in the psychic field, and the overall direction needs to be recalibrated. Without judgment, use the card that appears here to identify the central theme. So there's an illusion around you. So just giving you a few moments to write what comes to you while I was reading that, whatever you feel like relates to. Let's see. Card number 2 is the Petal of the Past. So this is any past influence that is still lingering in the psychic field, which is the Darkening card. Card number X11. 12. Depth, readiness, and churning. Readiness and churning. Churning. In alchemy, darkness is an achievement. It indicates the material has been through a significant occurrence, sometimes called an initiatory experience, that has brought it into a state of readiness for the work. The darkness prepares us. We've moved beyond the small talk and the chit-chat of the upper world and descended into the psychic layers of the soul. We admit who we are fully and bravely, and thus open ourselves to the process of transformation. When this card appears, it's not necessary to delve into what brought you here, the initiation, likely by fire, that has caused the embers to char. Rather, it is time to heal, and darkness is the remedy. Closing your eyes is a voluntary expression of darkening. By practicing it daily, we drop into the depths and surrender. As the alchemist's eyes adjust, transformation begins. To go deeper, watch Nina Simone perform Black is the Color of My True Love's Hair. Something to ponder is the wisdom of dusk. So basically, in the past, you have went through some sort of initiation, and that has prepared you to deal with whatever lies behind the smoke. The card linked to Mortifactio and to Pluto. If these cards appear together, it's a sure sign that things are running bleak. Time to lighten the mood and get into the sun. Draw with charcoal or India ink. Let the depth of the pigment move you and follow its lead. The only requirement is that you allow the material to express itself. Okay, so basically, went through an initiation. Alright, so this is what mine looks like so far. Just writing a brief description, whatever resonated with you. Alright, card number 3 is the Petal of Forgiveness. An image or a feeling that must be forgiven in order for the flower to bloom more fully. It is often related to letting go of dynamics found in card 2. Okay, which was the past, the darkening, calcification is what we have for Petals of Forgiveness. is heat, fire, and desire. Interesting, not what I thought it was going to be. Heat, fire, desire. And this is in the Petal of Forgiveness. Sorry. Calcinatio is the great alchemical operation of fire. It occurs when there's enough heat in the vessel to transform the nature of that which is solid or fixed. How does calcinatio begin? With a tiny glimmer, an urge, a desire that builds into a robust flame on a psychic level. This stage may be an uprising of emotion that has been repressed or dismissed. It wants something big to change, to be brought to the light and purified, perhaps a flawed ideology, institution, or outlook. Frustration and anger or wondrous change makers if their heat is channeled with space, time, and awareness. The transformation that occurs from calcinatio, OMG, CALCINATIO, is rarely harmonious. It requires commitment and a willingness to sit through discomfort as old patterns fall into the ashes. The flame initiates sacred change, and eventually the phoenix rises. Go deeper. Contemplate. I'm not even going on. LAOTZU's teaching the flame that burns twice as bright, burns half as long. Something that ponders the color of fire. Fire has been used in rituals across cultures, religions, and eras. Honor the element of fire today in a literal or metaphorical way. The divine flame resides within, and it is yours to tend to. That said, doing so patiently and with support will lead to do change that is holy rather than hasty. So basically, it kind of reminds me of passion. So maybe you need to forgive something that happened out of passion, from a passionate moment that transformed something in your life. The flame initiates sacred change, and eventually the phoenix rises. So it could have even been something pretty devastating. Alrighty. Petal number 4 is the petal of the present, which is the dynamics of the present state of consciousness, which we have antimony, a wolf. Kind of reminds you of the lone wolf energy. Stibus or Stibus. And XXV11. XXV11. Wildness, fierceness, hunger. Wildness, fierceness, and hunger. So presently, you are wild and fierce, baby. In medieval times, antimony became known as the Grey Wolf of alchemy. This was due to the metalloid's unpredictable qualities and its ability to eat away at materials in the laboratory. Gold is one of the few materials to withstand contact with it. For these reasons, this card must be read with delicacy. On one hand, it represents the wild and free spirit that longs to express itself in the world. On the other hand, it represents a fierceness that can turn destructive or corrosive at the drop of a hat. The message here is clear. Channel the Grey Wolf's energy towards creativity. Challenge it to come out from the shadows and to express itself. Embark on the creative project or adventure that's calling you, rather than focusing on why you can't. Once you begin, don't quit. The Grey Wolf responds to respect, not repression. To go deeper, read Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. And something to ponder is corrosion as medicine. Another interpretation of this material is that something is eating away or wearing away at the situation or person. Let this possibility open to deeper revelation. Like many of the alchemy cards, the Grey Wolf can most easily be felt through the laboratory of the human body. Dance, run, shake, breathe. So, on one hand, it represents the wild and free spirit that longs to express itself. And on the other hand, it represents a fierceness that can turn destructive or corrosive at the drop of a hat. Channel the Grey Wolf's energy towards creativity is the main message. All right. Petal number 5 is the Petal of Offering. Petal of Offering. A natural gift or talent that must be offered to others through service. Often it is related to card 4, which was the present. So, thus far, I'm kind of feeling like reason why we're feeling this smoky energy is because ignoring stuff that you know you need to do, particularly maybe there's a conversation you need to have with somebody that you've been avoiding. Secondly, that maybe stems from something bad happening that changed your life, but basically it has brought you to hear this, fierce, wild energy. And basically, you need to start channeling that energy into positive things. You're just sitting on it, and it's creating all this illusion, and because energy has to flow. If it stays stagnant, it's just going to weigh you down. And I guess this next card is going to tell us how you do that. And it's a Venus card. And the first thing I get off intuitively is through love, through the things you love, doing the things you love, spreading love. Venus, 1V. For your petal of offering, what gift or talent you have to offer others.
Was the month of November, and all through Bob's stores for weekly unboxings of savings and more. I'm talking unbeatable values on styles for every room. You could even save big on thousands of markdown clearance items.
So Venus.
Well, you get the idea. So stay tuned and
The
stop into your
commercial
local store or shop online to unbox major savings every week in November. Oh my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Pleasure, Eros, beauty. Pleasure, Eros, beauty. With the arrival of Venus, the senses open as if for the first time. It is the planet of pleasure, of touch, of sensual delights. Venus is often depicted as romance or eroticism between people, but it can also be experienced as an all-out love affair with Mother Nature herself. Aphrodite emerging from the ocean is a classic example of Venus imagery, as is Cupid with his bow. No matter how old or jaded you are when this card appears, it is a sign that attraction is at an all-time high. The laboratory is alight with love. You may be in love with the work, with the materials, with another person, or with the world itself. Seeing beauty in small moments is a sign Venus is in balance. An obligatory reminder that pleasure and pain are usually found intertwined. To go deeper, recall the last piece of art that moved you. Revisit it now. Something to ponder, the language of embrace. To get Venus, get physical. Break open your paint set or pick up an old instrument. Get your hands dirty. Don't do it to achieve something, do it for the experience. You'll know when Venus has gone awry. The senses lead us towards excessive actions, not congruent with our heart. It's likely we'll regret it in the next day. So channeling this gray wolf energy into the things we love. Experience an all-out love affair with Mother Nature. I like that. Alrighty. The petal of the future is petal number 6. the new growth or blossoming that awaits, which is card number 2, Luna. And if you are female, feminine energy. So maybe stepping into your feminine energy and empowering. Got the hand there, holding the moon, holding the power. Card number 2, which is, let's see, the moon. 1, 2. Mystery, receptivity, and intuition, receiving. The moon represents the mother of all mysteries. Once a month, it slips into the full spotlight and then quietly disappears, only to initiate the cycle again, gifting us with the message of impermanence. The moon reminds us we are in constant transition and continual process of letting go. It is the yin principle of one of listening rather than speaking. This card may indicate a time of rest and restoration is in order, or that a new depth of spiritual practice calls. Dreams and memories may be especially vivid. The gates to the liminal realm have opened. The alchemist's task is to be receptive to its messages. Be patient, though, as the moon speaks in the language of symbols and deciphering, its messages take time and receptivity. Magic is afoot. Sink into it, sweet child. Something to go deeper, practice yoga, nidra. Nidra, Nidra, the subtle art of dreaming awake. Interesting. Something to ponder, the center of the moon. Notice what stage the moon is in when you do your readings. New moon and full moons can be particularly potent times to do readings, but all the moon phases offer a unique energy. And I'm pretty sure right now as I'm recording this, we're going into a new moon. It's interesting. The moon has a cooling and soothing effect on the psyche. In a reading, think of this lunar card bringing a sense of ease and stillness to the surrounding cards. So basically everything gonna be alright. Basically just need to stop ignoring the spark, the flames. You went through all this for a reason, and now it is time to jump in. Basically what I get from all this. Mystery, receptivity, intuition. Intuitively, you know, though logically, you know, it's a mystery. And you just have to receive, be open to receive. Lightening for card number 7, which is the Petal of Nourishment. Petal of Nourishment. The source of nourishment from which the golden flower grows. If there is an imbalance in this card, look the card. If there's an imbalance with card 1, look to this card for clues as to why it indicates what the flower is absorbing. So it's going to help us with figuring out the smoke. Maybe if you're still not sure the message here for you, or exactly what it's relating to. X lightening is the card. X, 1, 2, 3. Perfectionism, facade, hesitation. If you're laughing, you know why I'm laughing. Perfectionism, facade, hesitation is what the smoke is. Hindering you, stagnating you. The stage of leucosis is a complex topic in alchemy. On one hand, it represents purification of the materials. On the other hand, it's the phase in which the alchemist may mistake the work as complete. On the surface, everything seems perfect, pristine, well thought through, and quite complete. In actuality, the alchemist has been tricked by their own facade of perfection. Their work has hardly begun. Righteousness and fear are the great errors of leucosis. This card arrives to remind us to get our hands dirty. No one is separate from or above anyone else. Rather, every alchemist is a kid in the laboratory, tinkering away with the elements of their life. No one more fretting over your next move, fearing how others will perceive you. It's time to crack open, become who you are. The world needs your true colors. Well, I guess that's forward enough, ain't it? Anything else you got going on, forget it. Get into your work. Perfectionism. Facade. Hesitation. Get to work. Alright, we will do briefly. I don't know if I'm gonna write it down. We'll just look and see what they mean first. These cards kind of came out while I was shuffling, and then these ones on top seemed to make an appearance. So we'll just go over these quickly. If something resonates, you want to write it down, cool. I don't know that I will. Ain't that something weird? I turned straight to the Drowned King. So yes, these definitely have a message. The Drowned King, XL1X. Ego collapse, losing face, humility. In alchemy, the archetype of the king is often used as a symbol for the ego, the aspect of the self that is attached to its title, name, and identity. It is said that the drowned king is a required phase in the process of transformation. Only through dissolving who they thought they were is the king able to become who they are destined to be, a kind and benevolent leader. How does the drowning occur? Not voluntarily, that's for certain. Through circumstances beyond their control, the king is brought to their bottom, to their knees. When this card appears, expect a huge blow to the ego, impactful enough that it causes one to turn their life around. Prioritizing grace over greed, benevolence over brutality, sovereignty over selfishness. The drowned king eventually resurfaces as a fully changed, benevolent being. So, kind of gives you Tower card energy. To go deeper, watch the movie The King from 2018. Something to ponder, the power of benevolence. The drowned king prevents tyranny and redistributes power. We all must experience this energy from time to time to stay balanced, wear it like a badge of honor. Water is the main mechanism for the dissolution of the ego. Although the king may kick and scream all the while, eventually their new mantra will be go with the flow. Vinegar. Acidity. Distillation. Memory. The tongue knows vinegar. Even the suggestion of receiving a few drops into the mouth reminds us of vinegar's sour, lip-puckering qualities. In alchemy, vinegar serves as an active agent of distillation, fermentation, and preservation. It is incredibly useful when applied to the right amounts with an intention. This said, it can be easily overused, overwhelming the situation at hand. When the vinegar card is present in a reading, it indicates a sour note permeates the laboratory. It is likely something from the past is showing up in the present and demanding our attention. It is in vinegar's nature to take over, to overwhelm. Be cautious with this material. A little goes a long way. As they say, it is productive to look at your past, but not to stare. Such is the complex energy of vinegar. To go deeper, view the allegorical Chinese painting, The Vinegar Tasters. Something to ponder, the wisdom of the tongue. So, obviously, not a favorable situation going on, but you just have to do what you can, do what you know you're being led to do. See what Neptune and Saturn got to say over here. V3, this too shall pass. Neptune, divinity, mysticism, seeking. And then Saturn is structure, authority, and consequences. Neptune is the we'll read Saturn first. Saturn is known as the great ruler, the authoritative father, and the structuring force. Limitations, rules, logistics, and laws all fall under Saturn's claim, and they insist on our adherence. Saturn constricts, it corrects, it governs. The force of this planet is mind-boggling, frustrating, especially for creative types, as it can feel like one limitation after another. Yet its ability to support is unmatched. No creative project can come to be without the Saturnarian qualities of commitment, endurance, and steadiness. The tick of the clock reminds us of this planet's steadfast presence, eternally measuring. It's no surprise it's associated with the metal lead and these qualities of destiny and weight. To embrace Saturn is to embrace the foundation and become one's own central authority. It is not as dull or easy as it sounds. That's Saturn's secret. Silence as power. And then Neptune is the mystic's planet. It transcendent energy projects toward the heavens. When the Neptune card appears, the seeker archetype is activated and doorways to new dimensions open. A voice whispers from beyond the earthly plane, perhaps calling you to a pilgrimage or new spiritual practice, or you may experience a meditative bliss beyond your wildest dreams. Divinity has arrived. Whether you call it nirvana, samadhi, enlightenment, or just good old serenity, amidst your spiritual awakening, remember that ultimately the work is not about you. The work is about what's bigger than you. Stay grounded in that reality, and you're likely to avoid Neptune's pitfalls of narcissism and escapism. History shows us examples of spirituality turned madness, so keep your woo-woo tendencies in balance with a little selfless service. Forgiveness as medicine. Alright. And I will look at this yellowing card real quick. X1V. Aging, transitioning, warning. Indicating transition, the yellowing leads us into the next phase of our alchemy work. Envision the yellowing as pages of a beloved novel. This color seeps out to signify the beginning of the end, a return to zero. Even a deep bruise finds a yellow tint as it reaches the final phase of healing. In contrast, yellow can be the marker of long-awaited growth as seen in the first rays of the sun in the cheer of Forsythia in February. Whatever its message. Yellowing tells the truth. It leads us forward like the vibrant canary in the mine, warning of what's to come. Take heed. The transition is here. Whether by yoke or bile, how to respond is up to you. It's likely you already know. Transition as teacher. Interesting. So, yes, big transition coming through. Clearing out the smoke. Needing to channel our energy into something constructive and creative rather than wasting it. Maybe facing some things of the past. All right, so I have a couple decks over here that ask you a question, and we will get one from each to give us a little more thought-provoking direction on this spread and what it is wanting us to work through. We have the new dawn. What fresh start is beginning? How can you embrace it with openness? So let's write this down. The new dawn. Switching page. The new dawn. What fresh start is beginning? How can you embrace it? With openness. And then at the bottom we have the labyrinth. Where in your life are you encountering obstacles? What strategy can help you find the way through? What strategy can help you find the way through? Find the way through. The secret to God. This is my soul truth, the self-awareness deck. I asks you a little question, get your brain going. If you still need more time to write, you can just pause me. Well, okay then. I just had some come flying out and hit the floor. Damn. So 3 came out, which is kind of funny. I was only going to draw 1, but typically when I use this deck, I do draw 3. But I usually don't do all this beforehand. This is usually the deck I start with. Bottom, we have what risk can I take today? But to start, we have what can I burn? I love the sound of that. What can I burn? Burn it all. The ugly lies, the pain, the shame, the criticism, the images that run through your head, the reminders of what you did wrong, and the proof that you are not enough. Burn, baby, burn. Your soul is calling. It is time for a rebirth. You are like the phoenix rising from the ashes, no longer attached to the past. You are free. Your wings are ready. Use them. Ain't that funny? Because one of these cards, I want to say it was this lightning card or something, was talking about the phoenix rising from the ashes. Today's soul action. Make the choice that you will no longer let the past define you. Pick up your pen. What will your next chapter look like? So that incident, that happened over here in the past that, blew up your whole world and is making it hard for you to move forward. Yeah, let that go. What it's saying. Not to let that define you. What you did wrong and the proof that you are not enough. Burn, baby, burn. Your soul is calling. It is time for a rebirth. You are like the phoenix rising from the ashes, no longer attached to the past. You are free. Your wings are ready. Use them. Don't let that stop you from having good things moving forward. Alrighty, so I'll put this up here in case you need to take a little screenshot. Because I write down like what up in here touched me, and then a lot of times I'll write this down and answer it too. So, yeah. Burn it all. Burn it all. The ugly lies, the pain, the shame, criticism, the images that run through your head. The reminders of what you did wrong and the proof in parentheses. You are not enough. Burn, baby, burn. And rise like the phoenix. Today's soul action: make the choice that you will no longer let the past define you. Today's soul action: make the choice that you will no longer, let the past define you. Pick up your pen. What will your next chapter look like? Or what came to my head as I was doing this, which I think I might really do, any of the lies, any of the pain, the shame, the criticism, even the images that run through your head, the reminders of what you did, and the proof that you're like, write all that down, everything, and then burn it. Facts. Okay, so card number 2. What is my body telling me right now? And so it will get to where you're taking up quite a bit. But it's also cool to look back and look at these things after some time passed too. And you see even more so like how accurate it was, or things that you didn't see before. What is my body telling me right now? Our body speaks to us through physical pain or discomfort. Our body sends messages for us to look more deeply. See the trapped emotions, the lurking fears, and beliefs that limit you. Listen to your physical body, and you will be led to the source of your pain. It is time to get your healing on. Today's soul action: get the book Heal Your Body by Louise L. Hay and find the answers toward which your body is guiding you. I know I've read a couple of her books and I've heard quite a bit of her. It's time to get your healing on. That's all I'm gonna write at that. Get the book. Oh, today's soul action. Okay. So I just wrote, it's time to get your healing on and get the Heal Your Body book by Louise L. Hay. For those of you, maybe you can get your little screenshot. If not, I'll read it one more time. Through physical pain or discomfort, our body sends messages for us to look more deeply. See the trapped emotions, the lurking fears and beliefs that limit you. Listen to your physical body and you will be led to the source of your pain. Time to get your healing on. And last but not least, 5. How can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? It's kind of funny because I just attended a little webinar thing last night about self-love. How can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Buddha. Oh. Today's action. Choose one self-care action to do today. And I've actually wrote all these down and have them hanging on my fridge. And occasionally pick one. So, write them down here. Try to get you a good screenshot. I will read through them as well, though. So, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Buddha. Okay. So, if I move on and you're not done yet, just pause. Choose one self-care action to do today. Number 1, set stronger boundaries. Number 2, meditate and listen to your heart. Number 3, speak to yourself with compassion. Number 4, focus on your strengths. Number 5, say no to something that isn't a soul yes. Number 6, say yes to something you are afraid of. Number 7, let go of what you cannot control. Number 8, stay far away from drama and negativity. Number 9, ask for help and allow it in all caps. Allow it is in all caps. I laugh because that's something I struggle with. Number 10, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Alrighty. So now that we have these things out the way, I will start pulling some advice and guidance type deals. First thing I like to do is this Healing Energy Oracle. Pull one from it. And basically, what type of energy do we need to bring more of in to complete this transition? Where do we need to focus? What kind of energy do we need to bring in more of? see, top two. Freedom and creation. And we had cards talking about both. So the freedom card. I realize my wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt. So I work to free myself of darkness. I cast off negative thoughts, find peace in my heart, and discover the being of light within me. So I will write this down, and I'll even write down any reflections or what it means to me, or just, whatever comes up. Freedom. I realize my wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt. So I work to free myself. Of darkness. I cast off negative thoughts. Find peace in my heart. And discover the being of light within me. If you want to write down a few more, go ahead and pause. If not, we are going to move on to the next one. Creation. I have the power to direct my life. With a constructive attitude, I create what is best for my soul. I firmly believe I can transform and improve my inner and outer worlds by turning every thought into affirmative action. I act in the image of God and bring light into my life. Something else I don't in the place that I'm in now because it leaves it on the mirror, but I would even draw one of these cards every week for myself and write it on my mirror so that way I'm seeing it and reading it every day. So that might be something you want to do. Write these down and put them somewhere you can see them every day and read them to yourself. So that way you start getting that repetitive of positive energy in your head. Creation. I have the power to direct my life. With a constructive attitude, I create what is best for my soul. I firmly believe I can transform and improve my inner and outer worlds. by turning every thought into affirmative action. I act in the image of God and bring light into my life. And that is that. If you have some things you still need to write, go ahead and pause. I'm just gonna grab this last stick and get some advice from Spirit. Advice from Spirit moving forward. These two wanted to pop out. Focus on the present moment and trust in the universe. Literally almost come flying out. But we're going to put them back in. So mindfulness, presence, awareness, peace, faith, surrender, divine timing. Trust in the universe, try to pop out again. Lord, okay, that's the third time it's tried to pop out. We're going to keep it out. And this one, these two go fine. Practice self-care and trust the journey. Which seems perfect. I was going to pull 3, there's 3. Practice self-care, which is what one of those cards was just talking about, and then just trusting the journey and trusting the universe. Take responsibility for your actions and emotions. Anything else, Spirit? Honor your emotions. Self-awareness, expression, healing, and growth. I'm feeling one more. Stay connected to your spirituality. Faith, connection, inner peace, and guidance. Alright, so let's write this down too. Might as well. Turn to the next page. Finish out the journal entry properly. Guidance. Here's on the others. You know, I wrote the name of each card, what it said, anything else maybe I had to add to it. So guidance. Uno numero 1, trust in the universe. Numero 2, trust the journey. Faith, trust, surrender, patience. Number 3, practice self-care. Number 4, Take responsibility for your actions and emotions. Next, honor your emotions. And last but not least, stay connected to your spirituality. And there it is. I don't know about you, but I do feel lighter and happier. I've been in a pretty stuck, bad mood. So if you guys got something from this, I would love it if you would share with me things you liked about it, didn't like about it, what you got from it, any synchronicities you've had around it, just any feedback y'all can give. And if this really helped you, then look forward to more coming. It will be my journaling series, Journaling with Spirit, and look out for more. Thank you all so much for being here with me. Have a great day.